Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure being your host virtually.
Hello, Kyle. Hi, Dom. Have I been on
Hello,
mute
hello.
this entire time?
Yeah, I was wondering
You
if anyone
have
was
been.
talking.
Oh my word. I've been like welcoming everybody, saying hi to Sam, hi to Chooks. Welcome to our meeting for the first time, Chooks. Welcome, Kyle. Welcome, Dom. I apologize. It's
No,
a
no,
function of the Linux meetings that they set up for us. They mute people by default when they go into the room, and I forget because none of my other meetings work like this. I'm ready to go as soon as I hit the ground.
yeah, nice to meet you all.
Did you
Nice to
feel
meet you as
bad
well. Welcome.
that you are being ignored? Sorry.
I beg your pardon, Sam?
No, no. Did you feel bad that you were being ignored?
No, well, that was the really interesting thing is like I managed to actually accidentally fall in with a conversation that was already happening, and I thought people were talking to me. So
Uh,
I didn't notice I was on mute because people were responding, only they weren't responding to me. It was really
I know
weird.
those feelings. Start talking. Anyway,
Yeah.
you could repeat yourself again if you want to, if you remember.
No, that's fine. It was just a welcome. And I'm saying hello and going around the room. Hi, Rodney. Like that. Okay, the man of the hour is not yet here. Hopefully, we will see Brian because I think Brian is going to drop our first PR. So maybe just to go through what I have done in the meantime. I have created the Tazama LF or the Tazama LF dash Tazama Helm repository. Ooh, there's some stuff happening over here. I don't know what that is. There's some PRs. Oh my goodness. Sandy approved this. Thank you. Did you merge it? No.
Sorry, I was distracted. Sorry,
That's all
my
right.
bad.
It's merged now. Okay. So what that change did is I created a team inside our GitHub, and that's basically everybody who has been participating. Oh, hi, Brian. Everybody who has been participating in our working group here. Uh, it's actually Brian. I see you have to accept my invitation still here. And that is also, this is Festus down here. Um, and then I just want to double check. Kyle, why is this not obvious?
I don't know. How many calls do you have here?
Is it too
There's
many? Is
last
it
one.
this one? Number
Yeah.
7?
Yep.
Okay, I need to add you here as well. Ugh. Just give me a second while I put this over here. I'll let you guys enjoy. this landscape from the Jordanian desert in the meantime. I don't really feel like putting in my authenticator code while you guys are watching my screen. Okay. Okay. There we go. Well, you are also now added to the team here. So what this does, okay, cool. Thanks, Brian. You're in. Okay. So this adds everybody to a team, and that team is now also added here to the code owners file. So everybody in that team has access to maintain this repository. So you'll be able to do code commits and create a PR. And then somebody else will just have to review that PR, but anybody in this team will be able to then merge the code into this repository. So we are now a formal team who can work on this repo. There's a whole bunch of other things. Oh, thank you, Dependabot. This repo is empty, Dependabot. What are you doing? And that's a little enthusiastic. Okay, but sure. Right. And then basically just quickly to recap our session from last week. Brian demoed for us the initial work that he had done as the for Helm deployments into Kubernetes. He actually has access to a clustered environment on premises, and he had been putting this through their system. So there is effectively, as far as I'm concerned, a working initial version of the code. Brian, if you would like to, and you would be so kind, you can add this to this repository and create a pull request, and then we can merge that as our first baseline.
Okay, I'd made the push on the feature branch. I think what's left is just raising the PR.
Did you do a PR a branch already? Okay, excellent. This is you. Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all we need to do is a PR, and then we can put that PR in. So the process from here is, with this initial baseline in hand, what we are going to do now is to iterate over that. So I think the idea here is to look at how we want to be able to improve that and drive that towards the decisions that we had made during the course of our working group. So, for example, there were some things around process. We wanted to be able to implement a publishing into a registry, and so on and so on. So all of those features should now be cataloged and documented as issues. And then, it's basically a question of doing the work, right? I know, Sam, that at some point you're also keen, waiting for us to produce a version of the Helm charts that you said very kindly that you would test for us. I'm not sure at which point we'd be ready to do that. Brian, do you think that version that we are pushing now will be enough for Sam to do a initial test? No pressure.
Okay, I'm not so sure. Given that the service we worked on was just one service, and Tazama has like very many services, so I'm not so sure if someone wanted to work with like one microservice, so he would have preferred to work with more.
Oh, but that's a good point, right? So if we can test it in a small batch, I suppose, like a small number of services, then we can actually build on that to deploy the remaining services. That already becomes an issue that we know we need to create and work on. So it's to close the gap, the services coverage. That's actually fantastic. And then we also have a variety of other things that we said we wanted to do. So I'm not too sure how much we want to do in this particular session. I think it's a question of actually creating these things as issues, but I'm not sure if it's a productive use of everybody's time to do that in this session. So maybe just quickly take a sense of what we think as a group would be a good approach to follow now on top of the baseline. And Rodney, if you're standing in for Foley, then you're effectively the work stream lead, so you have to lead the conversation. You have to tell me what you think first.
I do have some thoughts. I mean, like, as to Brian's point, where we do have something, but like the services that it needs don't currently exist in our stack. I mean, like the Helm stack. I'm thinking we start off with figuring out how to get the database and nets and like Redis and the like sorted, so we can at least start up one processes service.
Yeah. I think where we want to end up is here, right? We want to be able to cover all of the services
Right.
and how they are going to be deployed.
Right.
Brian,
Yes.
maybe just to quickly check in. So, do you have sort of a view of the services that you've already done? Is it the entire sort of the former core engine or only a select number of even these services?
Okay, it started with just a select number of the services. To be specific, it was the TMS service and the admin service. Those are the two that have started working on.
Okay, fantastic. So I think sort of like a phase one would be to complete that to cover all of the core services. What I can do is I can come up with a list. And essentially, if we are looking at the scope of the current Tazama stack, it's basically that, right? So the Tazama stack server A is our first deployment target. Then the Tazama stack server B, which is the case management system, and these two, let me put them up here. The case management system and these two components, DEMS and DP, that's server B, along with the rule studio and the connection studio. So the tools, right? And then the third phase would be completing the implementation to then also include the business intelligence, analytics, and reporting area, which is the data lakehouse. Does that seem like a fair progression? So we aim to finish the core first, case management and tooling second, and then the data lakehouse third.
Yeah,
Sounds like
I
a
think that
plan
makes
to
sense to
me.
me.
Right. Okay. I'll add tickets for that. And then so I think this is the part where it does get a little bit tricky, I guess, because everybody has a day job. But we are the people who are going to be building this. So collectively, it's a question of saying, well, if we make the tickets small enough or the issue small enough, then it gives everybody the opportunity to contribute where they have time. If we make the tickets too big, then there's not enough time for somebody to complete any single one. So what I would try and do is to break the work down in a way that somebody can do it quickly if they have to. And then everybody can participate. And then it's also a question of, okay, well, if you do want to work on one of these issues, the issues are going to be listed here inside the new Helm repositories issues. We'll be creating them here. And if you want to pick up an issue, all you need to do is to assign yourself to it so that two people don't work on the same thing at the same time. Because otherwise, that won't be a great use of everybody's time. But if you want to work on some of these, then claim the ticket and then you own it until you get to the PR stage, and then that PR itself will be pushed into production, merged into the dev branch. The question here on top of that is around the testing. I mean, obviously at the moment, Brian is the best placed to do his own testing. because he has access to a platform where he can put stuff. I think Kyle, on our side, we may want to see if we can get some sort of Kubernetes substrate up and running on our AWS so that we can maybe facilitate some testing inside the Tazama team as well. Sam, you guys have access to a lab, I think, but you don't yourself have access to the lab. That's it with James. I don't know what else you have access to. You did say that you could do some testing.
Yeah, I can do some testing. So I have access to AWS where we have few clusters and I can create my own as well. So James has an on-prem cluster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cloud and on, that's a difference, but yeah, that's where I can test.
Okay. I always feel like there's an opportunity here for you and Kyle to maybe share some knowledge about the setting up of the AWS. I mean, I think Kyle, I don't know if you are as familiar on AWS as you were on Azure or on-prem, right? So
Definitely better now. I've been working quite a bit with this.
okay, excellent. But I think there's an opportunity for a little bit of crosstalk there. So if you guys could keep each other's numbers handy, that would be great. And then I know, Dom, you have done some work as well, but I can't remember if that was on Kubernetes already or if that was mostly on the Docker.
No, it was on Kubernetes, on
Okay.
our company's, my company's own installation.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, that's actually way better than I expected. So almost everybody has access to a Kubernetes instance of some kind somewhere, a cluster. Chooks, let me draw you into the conversation. Do you have access to a Kubernetes environment that you could also use to sort of test work as you go through it?
Fortunately, I don't have currently, but it's looking like something I might need to explore with time. Discuss with management and see how we can spin up something.
Okay, perfect. Because I think it's also be sort of since I think you've been around the project for quite a while now, but this is your first opportunity to get really hands-on with it, especially on the Kubernetes environment. So that might be a great sort of a learning experience for all of us, I think, as we embark on something new. Get that Kubernetes environment up and running, and then once the Kubernetes is up and running, then we can start looking at using Helm to put Tazama onto it. Okay, that actually starts to feel like a plan. Let me recap what I think is a plan. Okay, so we're going to create a bunch of issues. The issues are going to go out to everybody, and then if you are able to, you will then also test your own issue before you create the PR, so that when we look at the PR, we don't have to mark your homework. We can look through sort of the code and the scope and everything else, and then merge that into the ever-growing Helm chart or set of Helm charts for the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay. Am I missing anything? I think the question then is to look out for the issues and then look out for the PRs so that we can review each other's work. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. Does anybody else have any other input, ideas, questions, observations, direction?
Question on my side. When are we thinking about wanting to have this live for everyone to start using? Is there like a deadline or something? Or not yet?
If there was a deadline, it was probably yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the reason Chooks is here is because he was already asking about it, and everybody else who is involved in the working group here are interested in it. So I think
as soon as possible.
We're keen, but the working group itself has also been refining the requirements over the last 2 months. So it's kind of urgent, but we don't want to rush it. If we can get our baseline up and running by, I would guess the end of August at the latest, and that's for all 3 phases, I would actually consider that a massive win for a community-based effort where everybody has a day job.
Okay.
Do we think that's feasible?
I think so.
How does everybody else feel? I love your optimism, Kyle.
I will chime in or like piggyback off of Kyle's optimism. feasible.
Thanks,
The way
Rodney.
I see it, yes. But
Okay.
just to echo on, sorry,
Yeah.
Chooks did ask in the chat for access to the repo. And on the question of when, I'm sort of like wondering if, of course, like the AWS or cloud cost or infrastructure, I mean, there's like costs associated with it. So I kind of just want to say, instead of like going that route for testing, you open up a local Kubernetes environment. I did put a link in chat. That's what I use, but there are multiple like Kubernetes sort of like orchestrators which you can use for local testing. Of course, you won't be able to scale up to like, like 50 TMSs unless you've got the hardware and stuff. But for like one TMS and like, your dev environment, it should be enough if you can run it through Docker.
Do you perhaps want to create a tutorial of some kind for that we can publish?
Sure, I can.
Because that might be like, I might want to try something like that, purely because, I'm quite happy for Kyle to try and spin up our Kubernetes environment, but I would also kind of like to know how that works. So if there is sort of a mini version or a shortcut version of that that'll help somebody to do the testing, that would probably be my perfect use case, to be honest.
Got my own setup of Kubernetes already.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Okay,
I'm waiting for my
I'll
Raspberry
write
Pi.
something up. I think, Kyle, you should be able to use it as well, unless if you prefer, AWS hardware and stuff. But you should be
I was
able to
actually
run
going
it
to
on
test both.
your local as well.
Yeah, I wanted to test both, and then I'm also waiting for my Raspberry Pis to come through as well. So I can also run them there.
Nice. If you can run this data lakehouse on a Raspberry Pi, I'd be very impressed. It seems to be
Challenge
the
accepted.
heaviest of all three of the groups.
We'll see how big it is.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's okay. Wow. This is going so much better than I planned. This is like the part in the movie where everything is going too well. Okay. Okay, that's fantastic. Rodney, can I ask you, if you don't mind, when you're taking on work like this, so for example, if you're going to create a tutorial for us to be able to deliver like something, I'm not even entirely fully sure I understand it well enough to describe it, but yeah, you do. Could you create an issue first just to describe the work loosely before you do the work? Because I think that also helps us to try and understand what the objective of the task is and then close the loop at the end of that when it gets to a PR. Where should that live? Maybe that's also a thing. Should we create a docs folder here, or do you want to put it in the README?
Let's make a docs folder. And
Okay.
then we can have like separate files, I don't want to clutter the README for stuff that will eventually need to be front and center.
Okay, perfect. Because then we can always link to it in the README as like a little bit of a catalog of what is in the folder. Okay, perfect. Like a bill of materials. Okay, please. And then if you don't mind, if you can create an issue just to describe the work that you're going to do, and then if you'd be so kind, that would be super useful. I would be very happy to test drive that tutorial as soon as you're ready to go.
Cool, no problem.
What else is there? What am I forgetting to think about?
I'll think about something as well. But I might also already have a markdown document on how to set up Kubernetes and stuff. Rodney.
Excellent.
I'll let you know. I'll just need to look through my docs.
Yeah, if you're comfortable sharing that. Same as Rodney. whoever gets to create the docs folder first, go for it, and just slam it in there as a markdown.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm excited. What else have we got? We're on a roll, guys.
I think we got everything we need for now. We just obviously need those issues, and we can start picking them up.
Okay. Well, we'll get started on that. So the issues will start coming through hopefully in the next day or so. I'm going to prioritize this on our side as well, because now that the release itself is finally out mostly, I think we're in a position where we have a little bit of breathing room on the product side. So we can certainly help with creating some of the issues. If we need any testing done, test driving, reading, if anybody wants to talk or have a brainstorm or something or have a question, you can ask it in Slack. Or if you want to start a discussion, you can do that here as well. I think, is discussion turned on here? I should turn it on. Check quickly. Okay. We should now have discussions. There we go. So if you want to, you can start a discussion here as well, and then we can just look out for it and get involved if you have a question for everybody else in the team here. Otherwise, there is also Slack. Should we create a Slack workspace specifically for this little project here, or I'd rather put all the conversation somewhere where everybody knows where to find it, or we do discussions? What would you prefer?
I think Slack would also be good. Like maybe create another channel for it.
Okay.
Because if we are looking for something, then at least we can just go to that specific channel and go look for things.
Okay, I've created a Slack TSE working group Helm workspace. I'm going to make it public because this isn't really a secret. And then I'll just add everybody to it. I'll do that now. Okay. While I'm doing this, if anybody else has a random thought.
There's nothing for me.
Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh, I am missing people. That's everyone. Okay, we're in. Slack messages incoming. Fantastic. All right. Last chance for questions, comments, concerns. And then maybe we'll call it a day for today.
There's nothing for me.
All good from my end as well.
Okay.
I'm good from here.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm very excited. Let's get some code on the screen. Good luck. And
Awesome.
thanks, Brian, for getting us started. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
Brian.
Have a good one.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers
Cheers,
all.
bye.
Bye.